So Juan Mendez won his primary for the 26th legislative district. He was running for state senate, and he was one of the he's on the list of the Our Revolution candidates. Pretty awesome. Shout out to Juan. I got a chance to sit down and talk with Juan, and I keep stressing this point. Juan ran not just by himself. He ran on a slate. They call themselves the Clean Elections Team. Athena Salzman, who I talked to during the Millennial Candidate Roundtable, if you guys saw that back in May. Then also her running mate for the House, Isela. Isela Blanc. I'm blanking on her name. Yeah, but they ran for the House. There are two spots for the House in the 26th district, right? So the three of them, they were clean election candidates. They didn't take any big money. There was a provision in Arizona that if you raise a certain amount, get a certain amount of signatures and stuff, then you'll get a certain amount of funds from the state to run your campaign. And that's how they ran their campaign. They were running against people
matching funds, yeah.
Right. They ran against people who opted out of that system. But one of the things that Juan and Athena and Isela stressed was that doing it that way forced them to have to get out there and talk to the people in their community. I mean, they're already community leaders and activists, but it forced them to get out there and really talk to the people. And then people felt like they had a buy-in in the process.
Yeah, getting skin in the game from the community is so important.
Yeah. So shout out to Juan, shout out to Athena, shout out to Isela, because
bravo, ladies.
Again, sitting there talking to them, they ran a really a grassroots community. It's grassroots. It was community. Very well developed concepts in terms of policy and actual engagement. Like, I was very, very impressed. And like I said, I spent about an hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half talking to the three of them mid last month. But talking about issues from everything, Arizona is a mess. And with these races, it's possible to kind of at least shift the Senate blue and, add a little bit more support into the House in Arizona. So that's stateside. But again, these state elections are really important because state elections dictate so much in our day-to-day lives, right? So that's just a little, kind of a long recap, but a recap of some of the elections and stuff that happened last night.
Yeah, people overlook those state elections. I mean, like they say, you got to vote for everything from dog catcher to president and everything in between. You've got to think about what's going to happen down ticket and think really, really carefully about that. Like I again, vote your principles, vote what you think, do what you think is best with your vote, but also vote smartly.
And what was great about this race too was Juan is currently occupying one of the 26 legislative district House seats, right? So he currently has one of those seats, and he's moving up to Senate. And Athena and Isela are running for the two, House seats. So, that's also mentorship and built-in support there as well. And even if you don't have ability to kind of run on a slate, so to speak, in your jurisdiction, if you're running for office in state and local elections. But if you can pair up with someone who's had that experience, that helps too, because you have someone who already has been through this, right?
Yeah, so that can make a world of difference.
Yeah. So I really like the three of them. I really like the way they're working together. I checked the Secretary of State website because, again, there's the big announcement about Juan from Our Revolution. But I'm like, okay, so what about Athena and Isela? Because I talked to all three of them and I want to know. Those are my people. Like I've been blessed to talk to so many candidates so far. And
the kingmaker. Look at my girl. Look at you.
I'm not a king. I can't take.
I'm just messing with you.
I just had a conversation with them, but I feel like a proud mama in some way.
As you should. I mean, we have all, well, not as much as you guys on the way. Especially the Project Sanity guys and Ben, how we've tried to give these folks some shine. Hopefully we'll see Jesse Smith soon and try to get. I love Jesse. Yeah, Jesse. Alabama needs Jesse.
Alabama needs change. Jesse, if you guys, I know you guys might have seen an exchange with all of us about why he wasn't an Our Revolution candidate. It's not really clear what how they're picking people. Like I said, Juan was on the list, but Athena.
There should be some transparency in that criteria. There should be some transparency.
So yeah, it's not really clear, and hopefully, we can all find out what that's all about. But it doesn't really matter because we are still going to represent and support and help lift up candidates wherever we can. There's a good picture of Athena Solomon. Like I said, Athena, awesome, bright. She was a part of our millennial panel. Like I said, we had back in May. Bright, really like cutting edge, leading the pack. It was, like I said, that group, the three of them. That's some stuff ready about to happen in the 26th legislative district. Like, regardless of what happened with the other two races too, like it's just it's and these are Bernie folks too. So I mean, people are picking up the mantle, and they didn't get, Juan's name popped up this past few days, but they have been grinding all this time without all the big pomp and circumstance and attention.
I mean, but I think we've seen so many bright young people who have come out here. You millennials, wow. The political establishment the political establishment was not ready for you guys at all. At all. I mean, you can see with Bernie's campaign, even Bernie was surprised. And I think
that, and this is why I gotta try to encourage. I know I can be snippy sometimes, especially if y'all catch me on Twitter with only 140 characters. I can get, but I'm real. I'm all for the team. But this is what I need people to understand. Don't despair, right? We started building something, and we're gonna keep on going, because 2018, the midterm elections. It's about to be on. On like Donkey Kong, like Voltron up in this piece.
Because I mean, if you take a look at some of the strategies that you young folks have been putting forward and activating activating the electorate, like especially at the grassroots level, like we haven't seen in decades, and you guys really need to be applauded for that, and please continue.
Well, it's really, it's cross-generational work going on, definitely, because, with the work I did with Women for Bernie, our youngest, when we talked about the core team with Women for Bernie, right? The youngest person was a high school senior. Shout out to Jamaica. Jamaica just started at American. You go, girl.
Go ahead, Jamaica.
The youngest person, Jamaica Holmes, youngest person with women, and the Women for Bernie, the core team, not like our general state membership or whatever, in the core like leadership team was 17, senior high school. She's now just freshman, starting at American University, brilliant young woman. And our oldest, don't kill me. I don't know who's older, Pat, Laura. I apologize. No, Pat, I don't think Pat would be older than Laura. Portia Bolger, you all are very familiar with Portia. So we range, we had baby boomers, we had, I don't know if the 17-year-olds are millennials. I get caught up because once upon a time they called us Generation Y, and then all of a sudden they developed the term millennials. So whatever.